Hey guys, this is Nikki. A lot of you already know me, but just in case you don't, I teach at 11:30, which is our mixed hour class. So I have kids 2 turning 3 all the way through 4th or 5th grade some weeks, which is a lot of fun. It's a really great dynamic. And that's my class. This week's story is Advent 1. It's our very first week of Advent, which is great. This is one of my favorite seasons of the church year. I love the mystery of this season, which Godly Place speaks to a lot, and the sense that it is, in fact, a time of getting ready for the coming of a king. And so I just hope that in this terribly busy time of contemplation that we're entering, that you would be taking the time to really get to know the stories that you're telling, not just in your head, but in your heart. The point of this curriculum is not to say verbatim everything that you read in the books or the review team's stories, but that you would know in your heart what these stories mean and be able to convey that to the kids. So this week's story is a mix of the Godly Play curriculum with a little bit of the review team's story thrown in. I would also like to point out for those of you that are choosing to use the review team stories that the white road it talks about in the materials is not something we were able to prepare given the holiday week and the time that we're allowed before the season begins. So you will not have the white road to place before Bethlehem, but feel free to imagine it. The kids will see it if you do. So by all means, include talking about it and touching it and seeing what it's like, even if you don't have the materials with you, because the kids will be able to see it too. So without any further ado, here is the Holy Family so that you can see how we change the colors, as well as Advent 1, the prophets. Maybe you have seen something like this before in your house. They're not always for children to play with because they can be very, very fragile. And so you have to ask before you can get it down and use it so that it won't break. This story is for you. You don't have to ask to play with it. You may use it whenever you like. Here is the baby Jesus, reaching out to give you a hug. Here's his mother, Mary. And here is his father, Joseph. Here is the donkey that Mary and Joseph took with them when they went to Bethlehem. Mary was about to have a baby, so it was very, very hard for her to walk. So she would ride on the donkey on the long, long way to Bethlehem. But it is also very hard to ride a donkey when you're about to have a baby. So then she would have to get down and she would have to walk. Here's the old cow, so surprised on Christmas morning when he woke up and found a baby in the manger, the feed box where normally he found his breakfast. Here is the shepherd who saw the bright light in the sky. There were more shepherds than just this, but he will help us to remember. When they all saw the great light in the sky at night in the dark, they were very frightened. They were even more frightened when they heard singing coming from the light. I know I would be too. But then they heard the words of the song that was coming from the light. And the angels that came with that song told them, "Hurry, run, go to Bethlehem, for God has done something amazing." So the shepherds left their sheep and went. There were probably more than 3 sheep, but these will help us to remember. Excuse me. These are the 3 kings, the wise men. The wise men were very wise, and they knew a lot of things. People thought that they were magic because they knew so much. In their language, they are called magi. That is where we get our word magic from. And the thing that these 3 knew most about was stars. One night, while they were looking at the stars and plotting them and studying them, they saw one, a wild star, that didn't go where it was supposed to. Normally, stars only move in one way, but this star moved differently. So they decided to follow it. This is the baby Jesus, reaching out to give you a hug. This baby grew up into a man, and he died on a cross. And that is sad, but it's also wonderful in an Easter kind of way. Now, he is big enough that he can give the whole world a hug, because he is in every place and every time. This is the baby Jesus. This is his mother Mary, and this is his father Joseph. This is the donkey that Mary rode on her long, hard road to Bethlehem. And this is the old cow, so surprised Christmas morning. This is just one of the shepherd, and only a few of his sheep. These are the wise men, the 3 kings, the Magi.